Here we go. I want to go through a real quick look, I should say, at the Middle Colonies. So, the Middle Colonies supported a flourishing export economy based on cereal crops and attracted a broad range of European migrants, leading to societies with greater cultural, ethnic, and religious diversity and tolerance. So, if we're going to look at, I'll move my face over here. If we are going to look at the chart that we gave to kind of compare remember this one, the geographical, social, political, and economic factors of each of the colonies, we can look at the New England colonies, Middle colonies, Chesapeake, and Southern. Actually, we're going to kind of combine the Chesapeake and Southern colonies, but I want to look at the Middle colonies right now. And while those are going to focus on Pennsylvania, you should also know that the Middle colonies included New York, New Jersey, and Delaware. So when we talk about these as a cereal crop colony, sometimes they're referred to as breadbasket colonies. It just means that they grew a lot of crops like we're familiar here with in North Dakota, such as wheat and barley and oats and things like that. So William Penn was one of the first to come into this area. It was kind of, Pennsylvania used to be called Penn's Woods, and it was named after William Penn. And he used Pennsylvania as kind of a safe haven, if you will. Sometimes it was called the Holy Experiment for Quakers. This is William Penn right there. Quite interesting when I show you another picture of somebody who we might be very familiar with. But William Penn essentially got a land grant from Charles II. And he established Pennsylvania as an area where people, Quakers who were peaceful people, Quakers were people who would not participate in a war. They did not want to pay taxes to the king because of their religious beliefs. They felt like kind of like the Puritans, that they were not, the Church of England was not pure enough. And so Pennsylvania was really founded by Quakers. And there you can see, if you've ever had Quaker cereal or oats or anything like that, this is essentially where we get the image from William Penn on the Quaker cereal box. So Quakers definitely did not want to participate in war. In fact, what we'll learn later, and this will just a little tidbit, the Quakers were the first to outlaw slavery. They did not allow slaves in their colony because they felt like it was a morally unjust and wrong. And so these people really were quite morally upright. There was a lot of religious toleration in the Middle colonies. People were allowed to practice their beliefs and practice their own religion without the fear of persecution, kind of the way they would have been in Massachusetts. I mean, think about like Anne Hutchinson and Roger Williams. That's why they fled to those other colonies such as Rhode Island, because they could not practice the way they wanted. It was much more stringent in the New England colonies. So the religious toleration really was very enticing for a lot of people to come into the Middle colonies, especially Pennsylvania. The Middle Way was essentially, if you want to put the Middle Way on this chart, the Middle Way really kind of shows that the geographical region. There were very large tracts of land. They were often near very good water sources and rivers, and they had really good seasonal growing conditions. Whereas in the New England colonies, it was more rocky. They didn't have really great soil. This was kind of the middle in between the real fertile soils of the South and the more rocky soil of New England colonies, but they also had these very kind of differing growing seasons. So they could grow a lot of things. There's a lot of ethnic diversity, kind of goes along with that religious toleration idea. And that's what we call these the breadbasket colonies. The breadbasket colonies because they produced a lot of wheat, oats, barley, things like that. All right, so actually, I think that is our last slide. I just wanted to get through that, yep, really quick because the next one will be the southern colonies. So that was short and sweet, and you should be able to fill out your chart with some of the things that I just mentioned, like they had mixed economies, they relied on their long growing seasons, they were kind of a holy experiment or a safe haven for Quakers. The Quakers were the main religious class, but they were more diverse than others, and they had a lot of fertile soil. So that's it. We're done. Have a great one. Bye.